Welcome back to Moose on the Loose. My name's David. Today, you're about to see one of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. There's been a lot of crazy things out there regarding the housing situation. We've seen the woman who was renting out half of her queen bed. That was pretty extreme. This is going back a couple months ago. This happens a lot in Toronto. Well, something that's in the GTA, in Hamilton, you're not going to believe this. Let's get to this.
This might be the worst rental listing I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. So it is a 1-bedroom shared bathroom in Hamilton, $720 a month. You're sharing a bedroom with someone, which already is kind of weird. But to make it even worse, this is a listing to rent a tent inside of a shared bedroom. Okay? You don't get a regular bedroom, you get a tent. I honestly thought this was a joke, but it's not. This memorable place is anything but ordinary. You'll be in a tent inside the home, in a large shared room with other guests. You'll only be staying in the tent. Don't worry, guys. The tent has a lock on it to keep your items safe. You have access to the whole house and a fully stocked kitchen to cook your meals. The tent is equipped with a comfortable foam mattress and fresh, cozy linens and pillows. You guys get pillows for $720 a month. For anyone who doesn't know where Hamilton, Ontario is, it's about an hour outside of Toronto. It's still considered part of the GTA, but it's not Toronto. So I feel like paying $720 a month to sleep in a tent inside of someone's room an hour outside of Toronto is absolutely insane.
Hamilton is definitely not Toronto. I used to live right here in St. Catharines. I used to rent a place there for $820 a month. It was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath for $820 a month. We're talking $720 a month for a tent in someone's bedroom. So this means they're renting out 3 tents, $21.60 a month. They want to rent out the second half of their bedroom to 3 tents on the floor. Is this real life? You're renting out a single tent on the second half of this person's large bedroom, or maybe it's their living room? There's a couple of desks here. That's real nice. Close enough you can fart right through the tent into the other person's tent. Like, what is going on? Canada's lost its mind. $720 for a tent in someone's living room. And not only that, there's 2 other tents right next. Don't worry though, it's got cozy linens and nice pillows, and it's got a lock on the tent, because that'll stop the thieves. Canada's in bad shape if you're renting a tent in someone's living room in Hamilton. This isn't even like downtown Vancouver in the Shangri-La. On this topic of housing, we do have an update video here from Senator Don Plett, who talks about the CMHC, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Buckle up, the news isn't good.
Senator Plett.
Leader, yesterday Canadians unable to find a home that they can afford got more bad news from this NDP Trudeau government. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation spring outlet says housing starts will decline this year, even though we're in the midst of a housing crisis. Next year, new housing starts will not reach 2021 levels.
What he's talking about here is the number of houses that are being built every year. It's a declining rate right now, despite the billions of dollars Trudeau is spending of our tax dollars on housing accelerators. It's actually just building bureaucracy. As Sean Fraser was once quoted, it's not going to the direct completion of any single home. It's nonsense. Our housing starts, or the housing construction numbers, are going down.
And we are not building enough homes. We were not building enough homes then either. Leader, having the Prime Minister fly all over the place for photo ops isn't a plan to fix the crisis that he himself has created. Isn't this report from its very own housing authority more proof that Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh are not worth the cost? Thank you. You know the line.
Senator Gold.
Yes, the answer is no. The challenge to build more housing in Canada, as we all know, and I'll simply make the point, is a function of a partnership between the federal government, which has the power of the purse, provinces that have jurisdiction, municipalities that are responsible for zoning, and of course the private sector. And it is a challenge, and Canadians are facing the challenge, and the government is very aware of, sensitive to, and responsive to it. It is regrettable, however, that the projects that have already been put in place, or at least the federal part, are not progressing as they could. Let me just cite one example. In the province of Ontario, in order to receive up to $357 million in funding to reimburse investments in affordable housing, the government of Ontario committed that they would have a plan to build tens of thousands of homes. They have announced that they are only going to be able to build 23%. That's one example of failure, not the federal government's failure.
Oh. Not Trudeau's fault,
Well,
is
here,
it?
an Ipsos poll last week showed that 80% of Canadians, 80% believe owning a home is only for the rich. And among our youth, that figure rises to 90%. This is dreadful. Senator Gold, you've often claimed that the NDP Trudeau government has done more than any other on housing. Don't blame the Ontario government. In my view, spending more money and getting the absolute worst results is pure incompetence, Leader. What do you call it?
Senator Gold.
I'm pointing out facts to this honourable chamber. The government of Ontario promised that they'd have a plan to show how they would create 19,660 new affordable homes by 2028 and repair over 25,000 homes. Their plan now only reaches 28% of that target. They refused to show how they would ultimately meet it, and they avoided that agreement with the federal government, and the residents of Ontario are the ones that are the losers.
Are we really surprised that Mark Gold is blaming the provincial governments for this? Of course not. He's a Trudeau lapdog. He's a little bootlicker. This is clearly a federal problem. Justin Trudeau's brought in way too many people, 1.2 million people per year. We're building 250,000 houses per year, all the builders. Justin Trudeau doesn't have builders. So all these 4 million houses he says he's going to build, there's no builders to build those houses. And those numbers are overinflated. He's taking currently existing projects that are almost completed and wrapping them into his number. It's all garbage and dog crap. This problem could be solved in 3 or 4 or 5 years if we cut immigration to zero right now. But Trudeau, from mandate from who? Maybe China? I've been thinking about this. Maybe his whole thing here is he is working with China to bring down the Canadian economy so China can become a higher player in the world stage. This makes sense, actually, if you think about it, especially if China's like, hey, Trudeau, we'll give you 100 million, we'll give all your lackeys 10 million each. We want you guys to destroy the Canadian economy. It makes a lot of sense to me. I have all these other theories too. Trudeau's got 30, 40 houses. He jacked the prices to get rich. Maybe it's a combination of all these things. He's working with China and he bought the houses. Who knows? Everything he is doing, he's intentionally done, is hurting our country. And he knows it. He has well-educated people around him telling him, hey, don't do that. It's going to destroy the economy. He still keeps doing it. There's a reason for it. And now we have tents in living rooms being rented out for $720 a month. 3 of them in one living room or bedroom or whatever that was. This is absolutely absurd. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this. When I first saw that, I absolutely gasped. It's so shocking to see tents in a living room. Share your thoughts down below. Be sure to subscribe here to my second channel. We're going to keep fighting for freedom, and I'll see you guys in the next one.